Growing up, man, we thought we were rich because we had everything. Even though we had nothing, to us, we had everything. My son, remember your father's command and don't forget your mother's teaching. Remember their word always. Tie them around your neck and keep them over your heart. Let this teaching be wherever you go. It will watch over you while you sleep. And when you wake up, it will give you good advice.
Yo vine solito aquí, mira qué familia tan grande.
This year marks 73 years since my grandfather, Joaquin Fontanez, stepped foot on the United States. In 1950, several months after marrying my grandmother, he decided to make a move and push for a better future. Now, in those days, hardworking people that looked like him, they didn't get a good shot, and they were taken advantage of. My grandfather didn't know anyone. He didn't speak English either, but he knew he had a purpose. And what he understood more than anyone else was that hard work and integrity translates through any language barrier.
He didn't want us to go out in the street, hang out with the wrong crowds, and he would always give me lectures growing up on that. And I would hear everything that he's saying, and I lived my life according to what he was saying, even at that young age. I know sometimes you do little mischief stuff out there, whatever, but never went out too far as hanging with the crowd with drugs and all that stuff, because you can easily get into that growing up in Camden. But he would stay on top of everyone to make sure things like that wouldn't happen. And he would give me lectures all the time. And I remember he would give me so many lectures that I kind of got tired of it, And one day I spoke to Pop and I said, look, I know you give me all these lectures, but I actually take that with me everywhere I go.
When we came in that house and we crossed that line, different world. And I knew that any garbage or any baggage that I had out there, I couldn't bring it with me. So it was no sense in just making my life career being a criminal because I couldn't bring it back. Like for instance, I had a friend of mine who gave me a bike once and I was maybe 12 years old. It was a really nice bike. And it might have been stolen, who knows, but he gave it to us, look, you can have it, and I'm like, cool. So I bring it home, my dad said, bring your friend over. Of course, my friend said, hell no, I ain't going to your house. They were all scared of my dad. And my dad put the bike on the trash, and I had to watch somebody pick it up and take it away. And I was so pissed at my father for doing that. But shit, lesson learned, So I contributed, our form of success that we have as a family to our mom and our dad. Absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind.
I was leaving our house to go to school, Pine Point School, 9th grade. Walked across the street, saw a wallet, opened up, there was money in it. Took the money to school, me and my friend decided to hook me school. I said, I'm gonna treat you guys. Went out there, we bought some meatball sandwich and stuff. Took a bus to Philly, spent a couple of dollars, came home. and told my mom I found this wallet with money in it. I told her this is all that was in it. So my dad came home, she gave it to my dad. Look, he found his money. My dad said, how much was in it? I said, I spent some. He said, how much was in it? I told him how much was in it. He put the rest in it, took me down to City Hall, took me down to the police station, and we turned the money in. It was about December around that time. The next thing you know, about a week later, the Carrier Post comes in, want to do an article on the lost and found money. And they did an article, and they painted us like we were very, very poor. It was a poor family. I was like, oh man, you know? Came out of the Carrier Post. Next thing I go to school, the Lao system go to school, and the principal announced it. We have a nice guy at school, blah, blah, blah. He's an honest person. Yeah, and go through school, hey, you the stupid one, huh? Stupid John, hey, yeah, stupid John. Oh man, y'all kind of felt bad, man, you know? Around December, about the holiday, Christmas time, all of a sudden, all this mail started coming in. $5, $10, $25, $30, $5, $1. Pew, pew, pew. Bunch of mail started coming in. Helped my dad pay the bills, I'll tell you that much, because I didn't see none of it. But anyway, a year went by. In between that year, I was hanging out with some friends again. When my boy's name was Ricky, we went to pick up some lamps because he worked at the lampshades. And this, we were talking about this, 60s, 70s, black lights. Everybody had black lights and posters back in those days. So me, his father, Ricky, his father, another friend of mine called Huey, we all went down there to pick up these lamps that were by the dumpsters. We started putting all these lamps in the dumpsters, and all these cops' cars just pulled up. Guns drawn on all of us and all that. Next thing I'm handcuffed and I'm at the police station. Father came down, they released me because I was a juvenile, then I had a hearing. My father pulled out that newspaper article and all the charges were dropped because I'm an honest person. I could remember that. I guess that makes me, takes me another way.
Within a year, that hard work will pay off, and my grandmother would join him. And soon after, his siblings will begin to trickle in to build on the Fontanez legacy. Now, my grandfather, he loved his siblings, all of them. But there was one that was closest to him, and that was Titicela. She was a force. Several years after arriving, she would marry Tio Mong and begin her family. Now, the two of them lived within a 1/10 of a mile of my grandfather and grandma. And later on, they would get even closer. They raised 9 wonderful human beings that I'm lucky to call my mom, my uncles, and my aunts. Now, they instilled the virtues that they live by. But what was it like growing up for them? What made them who they are today?
To us, we had everything. Meal, place to live, hours of playing time, no problems, no pressure, no nothing, That's the way, at least that's the way I felt.
I remember when we were young, we were sitting at a table eating together, smelling that food my mom used to cook, especially on Sundays. Sunday was the gathering for everybody. My cousins used to come down, Gloria, Blaine, because we were close to them. Friends used to come on Sundays. That was the food, and that was the thing. My mom and my aunt with the food stuff.
From my early childhood to now, I have no idea.
A lot of fun growing up. 6 boys and 1 girl, if you can imagine. So never not any excitement in the house.
It was just 4 of us. The other guys weren't born yet. And my recollection going back is just us being little kids, playing with each other.
I do remember they used to play pranks on Abuelo. What they would do is they would put shoes in the crack of the door up top. And they would make noise so when he walks in, they'll fall on him.
Totally, it's a blur.
Well, we were a small family, only the 2 of us, and then my mom and dad. Of course, for the Fontanez, the cousins, everything was family. So you did everything together.
We were kids. We teased. I saw a lot of hardships, a lot of downs, but at the same time, there was a lot of ups. There was definitely love in this house. Lots of love in this house.
I remember always being around family. We were in church a lot. And every holiday, every Sunday, we had Sunday dinners. But mostly we were with each other. I mean, the family was big enough, whether it be with the Colognes or the Fontanezes. We were always together.
That's it? Yeah. So we're gonna have more complicated issues.
What do you believe their legacy is? What kind of legacy did they leave behind?
People loved him. People admired him. People adored him. They respected him. Everywhere you went, they knew him. And I think that's the legacy my dad and my mom left behind, is being loving and kind, treating people with respect.
Number one is family. Family is the most important thing. You know, without family, you're nobody. Without family, you're by yourself. Family is everything.
Everything, love, unity, and mostly family. That was most important, family.
Love. That we have to love each other. No matter what the circumstances, love conquers all.
Just loving, you know, because that's what they were. You know, that's what they were. That's what the C in them is. It's just family.
Their legacy was love, family love. You know what I mean? Old school love. But no, yeah, it was special. Especially being around my dad and my mom.
Yeah, our family was very, very, very special. And even to this day, people say, oh, you're Doña Cela's daughter. Oh, you're Don Joaquin's niece.
And mom was just mom, you know, like any good mom you have and the best mom anybody could have. You know, mom was there for you if you needed it.
You give everything to have them back, but it's not gonna happen.
Over the last couple years, I've learned that there's no shortage in pain. We can't choose when it comes. I've also learned that there's no shortage in love either. Love, we could choose. And what I can say about this family, about my family, is that 10 out of 10 times, we choose love to get through the pain. We choose love over anger. And we choose love to get through the hardships. That's what makes our family special. My grandfather understood it. My grandmother lived it. And so did Titi Cela and Tio Mon, all of them. They understood the power of love. They understood that through love, you could get through anything. When you think about them, when you think about the past, when you think about growing up, they're there. They were always there. They were special, and so are we. We saw the example that they left for us. That was their legacy. The love was their legacy. The hard work, the effort was their legacy. We have that love. It's in us. We know what it feels like, and we know how to give it. I want to thank my mom, my uncles, and my aunts for participating in this documentary and showing us what a united front is, for guiding us back to a place where we need to be, especially now, more than ever. Thank you. I love you. Family, I love you with all my heart. Until next time.
Gracias a Dios me siento orgulloso por estar reunido con todos mis hijos, con toda la familia. Esto es una cosa bien bonita, bien bonita, bien bonita.